Hello! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drop In with Marianne. I am Marianne, and I am an ESL instructor at Brock University in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. I'm really glad that we're going to get to study idioms today because, like this week, we are finishing our idioms of body parts. Now, tomorrow, we're going to add a few extra ones in there that are not about the body, but are just as common and just as popular. So let's get started today. I hope you're having a great day, and I'm really happy that you were able to join me. Okay, let's start with one of my favorites. Now, you may have heard this idiom before. I'm not sure. It has to do with a body part, and it's called to pull someone's leg. Have you heard that expression before? It is very common, and people say it all the time. Well, okay, not all the time, but in the right circumstances, they will say, pull your leg or pull my leg. Now, that doesn't mean you have permission to walk up to somebody and just pull their leg. That won't work. You can't do that. What you can do is use it correctly. Do you know what pull someone's leg means? It means to make a joke. It means to say something that is not true, but it's not a lie. It's just a joke. We don't tell lies because that's serious and that can cause people problems. But if you pull someone's leg, it's a joke. You're just playing along. Of course, you have to be careful whose leg you pull. You don't want to pull your boss's leg unless you're friends with your boss. You don't want to pull a stranger's leg unless that stranger knows that you are just joking. Now, let's think of an example. Let's say Jane says to her sister, I think I am going to go on a trip to Europe. I'm going to go move there for a whole year. Well, her sister might say, what? What made you decide that? And Jane will say, I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm not really moving away. That's an example of how to pull someone's leg. It's when you say something that's not true. Now, usually it's something funny. For example, maybe John might say, I won $1 million. Yes, I'm rich. I don't have to work anymore. I can just go make sausage every day and I don't have to do anything. Well, you might be excited for John, but then John might say, I'm just pulling your leg. I didn't really win any money. I still have to go to work. These are examples of pulling someone's leg. Now, we use this in a positive way. It's never in a negative and it's never in a bad way to hurt somebody. When you pull someone's leg, you are just teasing. You are just making a joke. And it's a fun thing to do. But you have to be careful because some people don't like that kind of joke. So you have to know your friends and know who will appreciate it and who won't. But if you pull someone's leg, they'll probably laugh about it. Because if you do it right, it can be pretty funny. Now, do we use this only in the simple present tense? I will, I pulled, I am, pull someone's leg. I don't really remember using this expression in the simple present tense. You might use it in the past tense. You also could use it in the continuous tense, whether it's present or past. I was just pulling your leg. I am just pulling your leg. You can say it like that, but you wouldn't say, I pull your leg. That doesn't really make sense, so don't use it in the simple present like that. Now, that is just an example of making a joke and using a body part to make another idiom, right? There are many, and we talked about those yesterday. There's another one, which might be a little bit difficult, but I think you guys can handle it. This one is put your nose to the grindstone. Put your nose to the grindstone. Now, you know nose, but what's a grindstone? Well, that's a good question. I don't know if I've ever seen a grindstone, but I think this idiom comes from a long time ago when people used grindstones to make flour. They used grindstones to crush grains or seeds or beans to make a flour in cooking. A grindstone is a stone. It's very heavy and it takes a lot of power and a lot of energy to move it. So if you put your nose to the grindstone, that means you are working very diligently, very hard, and you are determined to get this job done. Put your nose to the grindstone. Put your nose to the grindstone and get the work done. Now, how would we use this expression? Put your nose to the grindstone. Well, if you're giving somebody some advice, you could use it like that. For example, let's say Jane just sits around all day watching TV, eating pizza, sucking on ramen, and she doesn't do her homework. What do we do? What kind of advice would we give Jane? We might say, hey, you better put your nose to the grindstone and get your work done. If you're a student, you might say, Jane, put your nose to the grindstone and do your essay. Putting your nose to the grindstone means you're going to do the job and you're going to do it well. You're working hard and it takes effort. It's not an easy job. Think about it. You don't want to put your nose on a big stone and push it. That takes a lot of work. But remember, you guys, we talked about this all week. Do not take idioms literally. That means do not analyze every word in the idiom. It will confuse you, and it confuses me. It doesn't make sense when you do that. You have to look at the idiom in a general way to understand what it means. You know this because you have idioms in your culture. And when you use your idioms, they are a cultural language that help you express yourself more clearly or more effectively to people who also understand the idioms. Well, it's the same in English. Don't take every word. Put your nose to the grindstone. No, too many words, too much analyzing. What you have to do is look at the entire saying and use it like that. Because most idioms are crazy. They don't make sense if you look at the words. You have to look at the entire expression. So the next time you have a project to do or an essay or you have to do your job, put your nose to the grindstone and get it done. Do the best job you can do and you'll feel so good. When you put your nose to the grindstone, it's a great feeling. It makes you feel great. You will notice on the screen we have a Brock email. If you want me to cover some idioms that you would like to discuss or any other grammar point, send me an email, tell me what you'd like to hear, and we can talk about it on Drop In with Marianne. The email is right below my picture. Copy it and send me an email. Okay, moving on from nose to the grindstone. All right, now we've used the nose. We've used a lot of body parts this week talking about idioms. And there's another one that I want you to look at, and this one is called see eye to eye. This is a great idiom. It's easy to remember, it's easy to say, and it's got an easy meaning. If you see eye to eye, that means you agree with someone else. You are thinking the same way as they are thinking. You agree with their thinking. For example, let's think of a situation where you might have an agreement with another person. Well, it usually surrounds an opinion. It usually has to do with an opinion that you might see eye to eye. For example, I believe we should get Fridays off. No work Fridays. Does that sound good? Well, I think a lot of people would see eye to eye with me. Eye to eye. A lot of people would see eye to eye with getting Fridays off because everybody wants another day off, right? How about this example? How about you say to your roommate, I think we should have steak for dinner. And your roommate says, oh, that's a great idea. You see eye to eye. Those are two examples of eye to eye. Seeing things the same way, or seeing things and being in agreement with those opinions. Now, not everybody sees eye to eye. For example, Sam and Kay never see eye to eye with anybody. That means Sam and Kay never see eye to eye with each other, and they generally don't see eye to eye with other people. So if this person says the sky is blue, Sam and Kay might say, no, it's not. It's gray. They never see eye to eye with anybody. And you probably know people like that who don't see eye to eye with most people. Stay away from them. They're grumpy. Seeing eye to eye is generally a thing that friends or family do. Not always, and you might have a situation where you don't see eye to eye, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. You just have a different opinion. You just agree to disagree, and that's okay too, right? You don't have to fight about everything, but usually when you see eye to eye with somebody, it's usually a pretty good feeling, and everybody gets along because they are agreeing or seeing something eye to eye. Now, how would we use that in a sentence? Well, the verb that we use with eye to eye would be see. So you could use it in the present tense. You could use it in the past tense. For example, I saw eye to eye with Janie when we were talking about going on vacation. I saw eye to eye with Janie when we were talking about going on vacation. Now we use that in the past tense because we were talking about going on vacation and we saw eye to eye when we were discussing that. What about future? I hope you will see eye to eye with me on this point during the meeting. I hope you will see eye to eye with me on this point during the meeting. Now that's a pretty long sentence, but it is a good example of a situation where you might see eye to eye with someone because a meeting is a good place to see eye to eye. You can also use it in the continuous. I'm seeing eye to eye with him. I agree with what he's saying. Or I see eye to eye. Now in that case, that is the simple present. I see eye to eye with him. You can use that when you are discussing how you feel about something with another person. And that way, you are explaining that you are in agreement with someone else's opinion. I saw eye to eye with John's point in the meeting. I see eye to eye with John's point in the meeting. I hope I see eye to eye with John's point in the meeting. Those are 3 examples of 3 different verb tenses when using eye to eye. Okay, this is another example of using a body part, and it is the nose again, using an idiom. Now this one you might know. It's look your nose down at something, or look down your nose at something. People mix up this idiom sometimes, and I'm not sure why, but it kind of all means the same thing. It means to look down on something. If you look down your nose at something, you are looking down on something because you don't think it's very good. You don't agree with it. Now, it could be someone's clothes. It could be someone's opinion. It could be someone's idea. It could be someone's attitude that make you not really like that person very much. And looking down on someone just means that, well, you don't really like that person very much. But you have to be careful looking down on people. It is not a very nice trait. If we like to believe that we are all equal, how can we look down our nose at somebody? Now, we might look down our nose at food. Let's say I ask my friend Kim to go to a fast food restaurant. She might look down her nose at McDonald's or Tim Hortons, or I'm just using a fast food as an example. I don't know. But she might look down her nose at a fast food restaurant because she prefers more expensive, better quality food and wine. Now, that is an example that's not hurting anybody. It's not saying she's bad. It's not saying that fast food is bad. It's not saying that expensive restaurants are good. All it's saying is how she feels about a particular thing. If you look down your nose at something, it's usually used in a negative way, and it's kind of snobby. Do you know that word snob? That's when someone thinks they are here and everybody else is here. That's not very good. We have to be careful of being a snob because snobs look down their nose at other people or other things. Sometimes people look down their nose at other people's clothes. And that's not very nice because people wear different clothes for a lot of different reasons. But look down your nose at something is an idiom that I want you to know because you will hear it in movies or on TV. And if you hear it when you are out around town or out around shopping, I want you to be able to recognize what it means. Sometimes idioms are things that we hear that we don't like, but remember, you guys, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can use, the more aware we are of certain things, the better we will be. And in this case, the better our English will be. This is all about improving our English. So to know these idioms, to recognize these idioms and understand them is amazing, because then you will be able to communicate more effectively. And that's what we want, right? Okay, another idiom. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive. Now, this one doesn't talk about a specific body part. It sort of talks about your mind, and it is pull yourself together. What? Pull yourself together. Well, I am together. I'm not in pieces. No, it doesn't mean that. Pull yourself together means get control of your emotions. Get control of your emotions. Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together. Now, we would use that expression when we're telling somebody to stop acting crazy. If somebody is acting very upset and they are not in control of their emotions, or if they are very sad because, well, let's say they failed a quiz and they start crying and they are acting just crazy about this quiz. You could also say, you could say a few things, but one of the things you could say is pull yourself together. Now, you want to be friendly, pull yourself together. You don't yell, hey, pull yourself together. That's not very friendly, and it's not very helpful. But you can say to somebody, come on, pull yourself together. Or get a grip. Get a grip. If you hold something really tight, that is a strong grip. Get a grip, pull yourself together. They mean the same thing. Now, let's say your friend John is going crazy in a meeting. He is yelling. He's telling everybody that they're wrong. He's telling people all kinds of things. You might want to say, hey, John, pull yourself together. Or, John, get a grip. And tell this person, what are you doing? Calm down. But remember, you're saying it to help them, because you don't want them to get in trouble, and you want them to be able to just relax and think rationally. Get a grip or pull yourself together. Now, sometimes people don't like hearing these idioms, because if somebody's really upset and you say pull yourself together, well, that could make them more angry. I know my friend Sam, if he's already angry and I say pull yourself together, he'll go nuts. My friend Kay, if I tell her get a grip when she's already upset, she'll go crazy. So you have to know which friends you can say this to and which friends you can't. Some people appreciate the advice or the reminder, but some people don't. And if you say to somebody, pull yourself together, you're really trying to help them get a grip on their thinking, on their emotions, and be able to just chill out. Chill out is another expression, but should I wait till next time? No, I think I'll tell you now. If somebody says chill out, it means calm down. Now, again, if somebody is upset, you're going to want to be careful with calm down or chill out, because that might make them more angry. But if it's somebody you know very, very well, and it's somebody that will understand what you're trying to say, then by all means, say chill out. If they are upset. If they're crying, no. If they're angry, yes. Chill out. calm down. But be careful with calm down, because people will go crazy if you say that when they're upset. Chill out or chill, that is a little bit easier. Chill out also means something else. If you want to chill out, that means you just want to watch TV. You want to lie on the couch. You want to eat pizza. You want to eat chocolate. You want to watch Netflix. That is chilling out. Everybody loves to chill out. I think I'm going to chill out when we're finished today. Now, this was a lot of fun. We explained a lot of idioms that have to do with body parts. One more that I'm going to go over very quickly. I wasn't going to do this, but I think I should, and it's get something off your chest. Get something off your chest. That means to say something that you really want to say, but you weren't going to say it, or you were thinking about, should I say it or should I not say it? If you get something off your chest, you are saying something to somebody that you really want to say. And you would use this like this. Shannon, I have to get something off my chest. Can I talk to you? That would be a good example of how you would approach this kind of situation. I have to get something off my chest. Can I talk to you? Now, we've covered a lot today. We've covered a lot of idioms this week using body parts. I am so happy that you guys have joined me. I really hope you are practicing using your idioms when you are talking to other people. Remember, you guys, the best way to practice your English is to speak, not just listen. Listening and speaking go together. Practice your English by speaking and listening, whether it's with TV, other people, or just walking around outside. But remember, be careful. Keep your distance. I'm not suggesting you go walk outside and get sick. But practice your listening with movies or TV or with other people in your house. Practice your speaking and use the idioms, because the more you use them, the easier they will go in here, and then you'll be able to use them off the top of your head. And you won't be nervous when speaking to other people. It has been great meeting with you today. I hope I see you tomorrow. Send me some questions if you'd like me to cover some grammar points that you are thinking of. Okay, I am Marianne with Drop In with Marianne at Brock University. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.